Hello, scrapbooking world. Welcome to Scrapping the Stash with Gail, my brand new YouTube channel. I'd like to set the tone and introduce myself and clearly state my mission today: scrapbooking with what you already have. My motto is turning hoarded supplies into scrapbook gold. I want to make creativity fun again and not fussy. So, this channel is going to have a lighthearted tone. Basically, if it's collecting dust, we're probably using it. So today, what I'd like to do is give you a little bit of background on how long I've been scrapbooking and how I ended up with a hoarded stash. Now, in the future, you can expect stash dives like what I have on my desk here. We're going to go through this stash in my next video and decide where to organize it, whether to keep it. Is it yay or nay? Do we like it still? Would I use it? So check out my next video. You're going to want to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so that you can keep up with what we're doing on the channel. So let me start out with my background about my scrapbooking journey. I started scrapbooking in 2003 when I was introduced to it through at that time, my boss's wife. She introduced me to scrapbooking, and it was by chance because I had to drop something off to my boss's home, and she had her stuff out on the kitchen table, and I asked about it, and she told me kind of explained what it was and what the hobby was, and I was like, sign me up. Um, I have always been creative. I love being creative. I've always been drawn to stationery and stickers and office supplies, those kinds of things. So I knew I would enjoy, um, scrapbooking. At that point in time, we also had a store in our city that opened up that had classes. You could actually go there and learn how to scrapbook, use their machines. They had Friday night crops where you went to their store, brought all your stuff, set up a space at one of their tables, and as you needed supplies, you could go and peruse their store and purchase items. 23 years later, I now know that was a marketing ploy, but it worked, and you had unlimited amounts of supplies at that point in time. So it was at that time that I knew I was hooked. I was going to continue doing that. I also found a couple friends. Once I started talking about scrapbooking, they actually confessed, and I'll use the word confessed because a lot of us don't like to let people know that we do scrapbook, which that's another subject we'll talk about at another date. But found out that one of my husband's coworkers, two of them actually, the wives scrapbooked. And so while the guys would get together and watch the football game or basketball game or whatever sports was on, we would get together and drink a glass of wine and just bring our supplies and scrapbook. So once I was exposed to these two ladies, I saw how like the supplies that they had, and I was just enamored with, oh my goodness, you can have that at your house or in your supplies stash. You don't have to go to the scrapbooking store to use something like that. You can have it at home. So I was definitely hooked by that point in time. Um, and then one of the girls, one of those two ladies, had a best friend that also scrapbooked. And so she introduced me to her friend, and then introduced me to a group of ladies that we went to scrapbooking retreats with. That was a total stash building experience for me because I was exposed to paper punches, and I was exposed to sewing machines and sewing on paper. I was exposed to eyelets and fabric and just all kinds of techniques, stamping, um, just amazing stuff. And of course, the lady that would put on the retreats was at that point in time a creative memories consultant. So she had a little store there. So then I started buying things at the retreats. So at this point in time, I was still living out of a scrapbooking tote. Okay. If you don't know what a scrapbooking tote is, back in the day, they were a big deal because you could put all of your scrapbooking supplies in one big tote that was about, I don't know, 2 foot by 2 foot, and it was on wheels like a suitcase. It was basically a crafting suitcase. Okay. So I bought one of those. I bought the biggest one you can find. It was by Fiskars. I can't imagine they don't still offer it. But let me tell you what, once you got all of your things in there, like your paper punches and all of your paper and your stickers and markers and everything there, that thing was heavier than crap. Let me tell you what, it was heavy, heavy, heavy. Anywhere that I took it, like the scrapbooking store, which, there was a mom and pop's scrapbooking store in our city, and then Archivers came to town. So Archivers was doing classes or crops as well in the mall. So me and this group of ladies that I fondly refer to my scrap ladies and I would go to the mall and do these crops. And I remember this like it was yesterday. I always needed help getting out my tote out of my car and putting it back into my trunk or my car at the end of the evening. It was that heavy. I couldn't do it myself. So yes, so my stash of supplies quickly was filling out a tote to where I had 2 totes. So I bought another tote and started moving things into that one as well. At this point in time, I was living in a 2-bedroom apartment with my husband and 3 young boys. Yeah, so I didn't have any room or uninterrupted time to be scrapping at home. So the totes it was. And I actually kept the totes in the trunk of my car, which really wasn't safe. And I found a lot of the stickers, in the heat were, coming apart. So I actually ruined a lot of my newfound supplies that way. So once we moved into a home, we had this huge bedroom. So I set up a desk space in there, and then I could lay out my stuff and leave it out so that I could scrap at different points in time whenever I had time. So it wouldn't have to be a block of 5 hours. Still not a lot of uninterrupted time or a lot of time because my boys were very busy. But I did indeed have more time to sit down at my desk. But the other thing that happened is not only did I still have those 2 totes, but now I had a desk and a couple of bins and a couple of storage bins on a bookcase in our bedroom. So, of course, more room for storage meant more supplies. So I kept buying. And I'll be honest with you, I actually got into a little bit of credit card trouble with buying supplies. So that's a story for another day. I don't want to say it was trouble, but I have, over the course of years, obviously adopted some buying rules and learning how to use what I have. But it took me a long time to get there. Okay. But yeah, I ran a credit card up buying scrapbooking supplies. So then our oldest son, this is a few years later, obviously, but our oldest son moved out. And so I moved into his bedroom with my crafting. I did and still do other craftings, but my main focus is obviously on scrapbooking because it's just my love. I just love this hobby. I love being creative and the colors and matching patterns and just the whole process. So, with that said, that's where the credit card thing happened when I moved into the bedroom. So I definitely have a stash. I've had a stash for years. I've had an ever growing stash because I am a shopper, and I am a deal seeker. So if I see something that I might use that is inexpensive, I'm going to pick it up because you never know when you're going to use something. So I have all kinds of different things in my stash, all kinds of different motifs, old, new. I love to mix old and new things. These squares are from Creative Memories years ago, decades, literally decades ago. So anyway, with that said, I also wanted to share with you that um, in 2016, so about 13 years after um, I started scrapbooking. I actually went through a period where I stopped scrapbooking completely. The guilt about having all the supplies that I had, um, knowing how much money was sitting in my craft room. And my craft room was a mess because we had moved into our now home where we're at now. And I just didn't want to go through it. I didn't want to look at it. I didn't want to deal with it. I was so confused and just guilt stricken about what I had done with running up that credit card, and um, also with just purchasing. Like, I felt like what I was doing, nobody cared about it except for me. So why am I still doing this? Um, nobody enjoys the books like I do. Now they do. They do enjoy the books, but they don't cherish them like I do. Um, I put all this time into these beautiful layouts and this page and these designs, and nobody ever looks at that. They just look at the pictures. So why am I felt like I was wasting my time doing all this creativity, doing all these, being creative with my pictures. And, at this point in time too, everything was digital, right? So everyone had the pictures on their phone. Nobody was printing pictures. So there was no reason to even put them in a book. Um, for anyone to look at. So, yeah, I struggled for a long time. Um, for a long time with that guilt, to the point where I am so far behind. That was around 2016 or so that I stopped scrapbooking. And it's 2025, and I just picked it up back up this past last year winter. So 2024. So almost 10 years that I didn't scrapbook. No, sorry. Yes, 2026. Yeah. So, just right around 10 years that I didn't scrapbook. Um, so I actually talked to my scrap ladies. I'm still really good friends with my scrap ladies, always have. Always have been very good friends with them. So definitely talk to them about those things. If I was doing other creative things, just not scrapbooking. I got into diamond art painting, which I still enjoy, but it's like, hey, you've got this diamond art. It was the same thing. Got this diamond art painting. What do I do with it? Like, am I going to hang this in my home? Once you do 5 or 6, you're kind of like out of space to hang another picture that you did. Got into bullet journaling for a little bit. That was nice, but then I felt like I was wasting all my time creating my planner and not planning my life or living it for that matter. So gave that up pretty quickly. Um, Let me show you. I bought this book right before I quit scrapbooking. It's a sketchbook. I found this lady on Facebook. Her name is Anna Lyons. She is actually based in Australia. She is called the Scrapbooking Coach, and I had bought this as a last ditch effort to try and get myself back into scrapbooking. Thinking, you know what? Let's just crank out some new pages. Let's not think about it. Let's just follow some sketches. And I've always had sketches, but tend to not use them because I enjoy the creative process. But I bought this book, did a little scrapbooking, and still that guilt came crashing in. And so I put this away and closed the door on my scrap room. Got really heavy into my career, heavy into my adult children who were, graduating and finding girlfriends. And, my husband and I started heavy duty traveling. And then when my youngest son left the home, it was like, what do I do now? Like, I was so bored. Not that I'm not saying that I missed running my kids around and being busy with them. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I had to kind of reinvent myself. Like who am I? What am I now? What am I supposed to do? So my husband and I started traveling really heavy, and that's when I realized that I have a lot of things that I wanted to enjoy life, and I wanted to remember, and I wanted to teach my kids how to enjoy life and to live life in such a way that you're enjoying it, not having any regrets. So one day, this lady, Anna Lyons with Scrapbooking Coach, appeared on my Facebook feed again, and she had a brand new book. It was actually this one revamped, so it doesn't look like this, but it was this book. And I thought, you know what? I am just going to click on over to her Facebook page and just see what else she's about, because all I ever saw was this book. Okay. And I tell you what, I just loved her style. She inspired me to just be you and to create what you love, and to create the way you want to create. So I ordered her kit, her January. So January of this year, 2025, I signed up for her kit member club, and opened up my picture box right where I left off in 2016. And the first kit that I got from her was a perfect kit for the actual pictures that were next to be in my box of photos um, to be put into a layout. And so I just thought, okay, this is a sign that I just need to get back to being myself and do the things that I love, which was scrapbooking. Forget about the guilt. Forget about all of the things that tore you from this room. Yes, it's a mess. Yes, it needs organized. But instead of just looking at the big picture, I needed to break that elephant down and bite it and eat it one thing at a time. So her first kit came, and it was very inspiring, and it went right along with the pictures that I had lined up almost a decade before, to do. So I did that first layout, and I found myself enjoying it immensely. So I kept going. And then that's when I realized I have got all of these supplies that I don't even remember I had. So I had to reacquaint myself with my stash. And so as I went through each kit every month, the next kit in February matched the next several layouts of pictures that I needed to do. March was the same way. April was the same way. I just felt very moved, motivated, inspired to get back into what I absolutely love, which is being creative. I realized that my stress level went down. I wasn't seeking others to be happy, others to make me happy. I was more relaxed, and I just felt like I had more drive and energy, not only to do my hobby, but also just in life in general. So I kind of figured out that, you know what, I think I was depressed because I wasn't being creative, and this guilt was just overwhelming me. from purchasing all of these supplies and having all of these things that nobody else cared about except for me. So there's an oldie but a goodie. Man, it takes two. I remember that. I've used a lot of it, but I have a couple of paint cans there. Anyway, I will get distracted. So anyway, so thank you, Anna Lyons. I want to say that from the bottom of my heart for re-inspiring me to get back into scrapbooking. And it's just a joy that I'm back here. So recently, so why the YouTube channel? I started watching a few specific people on YouTube and loved the ideas that they were giving out. And it just occurred to me that, other people have stashes too. And the more that I got exposed to some of these other ladies on YouTube, my stash is small comparatively. Some of these people on Facebook, I could not believe how much supplies they have, like hundreds of paper pads. I don't have nearly that many. Oh, here's something from Tuesday morning. Oh, good old Tuesday morning. So sad that they left us. But anyway, so you know what? I didn't feel as bad. I thought, you know what? I am going to teach people how to use the stuff that they have. How to maybe take a kit that you're wanting to get or a paper pad that you're wanting to get, buying one sheet from that paper pad that's inspired you, and take the rest of what you have and add to it to make your own kit collections. I want to show people, share with people what I went through with scrapbooking and my journey, and help others get through that guilt that we all feel. I'm finding that out too, that we've all felt that guilt about our stash hoard. And I think it happens especially as we get a little older and realize that there's poverty in the world and there are bigger problems than not having the right scrapbooking supply. Not that that's a bad thing, I'm just speaking my truth. So with that said, here's what this channel is going to be about. Okay, we're going to do some stash dives. So this right here is just stuff that I have found while I've been reorganizing my craft room. And it's things that I thought, you know what, these are all on my desk. I am just going to sit here and talk about my channel and why I'm doing it with these supplies on my desk, because it really reiterates the mood and feel about what it is that I want to accomplish through this channel. Okay, so here's what you have to look forward to. We're going to do some stash dives. We are going to talk about some layout ideas, using old things mixed in with some new. We are going to do some forgotten favorites. I'm going to be bringing out the eyelets because those used to be my favorite embellishment. And we're going to have some playful challenges. We're going to play scrapbooking roulette. We are going to talk about some organizational things. We're just going to keep it lighthearted. We are not going to be fussy. We are not going to be formal. So I really hope that that this is something that you will be interested in. If you've found me on this channel, go ahead and please click the like button. I know I've already asked you to do that, but it'll get me exposure to other people in the community that I think really need this content. Also, subscribe to my channel because that helps me with the YouTube algorithms. I don't understand all of that, but it'll get me in front of more people. So again, welcome to Scrapping the Stash with Gail, and I'm looking forward to helping you dive into your stash and fall in love with scrapbooking again. Bye for now, and we'll catch you at the next video.